Some people inherit family fortunes, cars, houses, pictures, all the fun things. But I inherited an increased cancer risk in my lifetime. Some studies have shown upwards of 80%. Hey, my name is Matt. I'm a colon cancer survivor, and I have a genetic mutation called Lynch Syndrome. About 20 years ago, I had a parent who ended up having three cancers in their lifetime. And so they got genetically tested for this. And it's a 50-50 chance if it gets passed on. So I didn't get tested for this. I was younger and dumber at the time. However, I started going to the doctor on, as regular of a basis as I could. I'm sure I missed some times in there, right? Going for physicals and things like that. But I was getting colonoscopies pretty regularly every 5 years since I was roughly about 18, 19 years old when I found out about this. And never really came into any issues with those colonoscopies. They found one small polyp, but I don't recall anything coming of that. Until one fateful day, a couple of years ago, I went to the bathroom and I saw what I suspected was blood. So I ran through the gamut of getting stool samplings and getting that sent out for testing. It was basically having to take three different stool samples on 3 different days, putting it into a little tube, and then sending it off for a lab for it to be reviewed for them to tell me that it was blood that I actually saw in my stool. And so followed that up with a colonoscopy like 3, 4 weeks later, and there was a mass in my colon. And at this point, they sent out a piece of it for testing, and I would have been shocked if it was anything but colon cancer at that time. And it's hard to explain, but at that point, I knew, even without being tested, that I had Lynch syndrome. I would have been shocked if I didn't, because I developed cancer at 35 when, the average age is, I believe, above 50. Found a medical team following that after it came back positive for colon cancer, along with the possible Lynch syndrome. And then ultimately got genetically tested for Lynch syndrome to get the affirmative that it is that I do have Lynch syndrome. And then talked to the medical team about next steps and determined after some scans, blood work, all the fun stuff, that it was best to do surgery to take out that piece of colon where that cancer was, and basically just reconnect the colon minus the portion of the colon that had the cancer in it. So, what does go forward look like? So, with Lynch syndrome, it's a lot of screenings. Basically, it's called surveillance. At least that's what I've heard from a term perspective. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, but it's surveillance because there's a chance that I could develop another cancer here in my lifetime. And so it's scans, it's blood work, it's scopes, so colonoscopies and endoscopies right now. And so a little bit more about Lynch syndrome. It's rare, but not rare. I mean, I've seen anywhere from 1 in 250 to 1 in 300 people have this genetic mutation. And so if you look in the United States, with the current population, say 350 million, I mean, you're probably looking at 1 million to 1.25 million people just in the United States that have this genetic mutation. But when I look out there, I see a lot of statistics out there and a lot of information on Google. But the one thing I've really ran into issue wise is support for it. I don't see a lot of support services out there for people with Lynch syndrome. I mean, it's an animal in itself. I mean, you're living with an increased risk. Like I said, my one parent had cancer 3 times in their life. I don't know if I'm going to get cancer 2 more times in my life. Will it be less? Will it be more? But it's trying to live truly with the day to day of this as well. When you're trying to go to work, you're trying to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, go on trips and things like that, but you're scared. You don't know if today's going to be the day that you wake up and something's going to feel off and you're going to go to the doctor and they're going to tell you that you have cancer again. And so I decided to make this channel because of that. I know there's other people out there. Some people may not know that they have this genetic mutation. Some people may be going through cancer as well and just want an outlet to talk about it. So if you're interested in my journey of navigating Lynch syndrome, that increased cancer risk and kind of just the day-to-day life, please like and subscribe. If you've had colon cancer or have Lynch syndrome yourself, please drop a comment below if you're comfortable. We're all in this together. Nobody fights alone. My name's Matt. I'm a colon cancer survivor and I have Lynch syndrome.